Let's be real, we're living in a world that is just screaming for our attention, right? It's all information, ads, and just constant noise. So how does any message, any idea, actually cut through all that? How do you grab someone's attention when they're already completely overwhelmed? Well, the answer isn't some shiny new piece of tech. It's actually something way, way older.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? The solution to our very modern problem of information overload isn't a new algorithm or a fancy app. Nope, it's the art of telling a really good story, a tool that's been at the very heart of human connection since, well, forever. So let's dive into that. Let's start by really unpacking why this ancient art form has suddenly become one of the most powerful strategic tools out there for anyone trying to connect and persuade in today's world.
Now pay close attention to that word, strategy. This is super important. We're not just talking about telling a funny anecdote you thought of. This is the deliberate, intentional art of designing a message, crafting it, to build a real, emotional, and memorable connection with your audience. It's about persuading through feeling, not just throwing data at people.
I absolutely love this analogy. Think about it this way. A narrative is just the skeleton. It's the bare bones facts. So for example, saying, "We make shoes from recycled materials." Okay, that's a narrative. It's a skeleton. But storytelling? That adds the soul. That's saying something like, "Juan, an artisan in our community, takes plastic bottles that once clogged our river and transforms them into the very shoes that will carry you toward your dreams." You feel the difference, right? One informs, the other moves you. Okay, so how do you build that soul? How do you actually do it? Well, it turns out every great story, from a Hollywood blockbuster to a 30-second ad, shares a fundamental structure. It's a structure that just clicks with our brains. So let's break down its anatomy. It really just boils down to these three things. First, you need a character, a hero that your audience can see themselves in and root for, and hint, this is usually your customer. Then, you've got to have a conflict, some challenge they're facing that creates tension and keeps us leaning in. And finally, the resolution, where our hero changes, they transform by overcoming that challenge. And here's a critical point, a mistake so many companies make. In the story you're telling, your company, your product, you're not the hero. The customer is the hero. Your brand is the magic weapon, the wise guide that helps the hero win the day. It's a total mindset shift. You're fitting your brand into their story, not trying to pull them into yours. All right, so now we know the what and the how, but let's get to the why. Why is this so incredibly effective? Well, the science behind it, the actual data, is honestly pretty mind-blowing. Just look at this number for a second. A study out of Stanford found that information delivered as a story is up to 22 times more memorable than just facts alone. Let that sink in. 22 times? Our brains are literally hardwired to remember stories. We forget data points almost instantly, but a good story sticks with us. And that incredible stickiness, that memorability, translates directly into some huge business wins. You're creating a genuine emotional bond. You're standing out from all your competitors who are just listing features. You make really complicated ideas feel simple and clear. And, maybe most importantly, you build trust and authenticity. Your story becomes your brand. But, and this is a big but, the power of story doesn't just stop with your customers. It's not only an external tool, it's also an incredibly powerful way to transform your entire organization from the inside out. I mean, just look at how versatile this is. In HR, you're not just posting a boring job description, you're attracting top talent with compelling stories from your actual employees. If you're a leader, you're not just listing quarterly objectives, you're inspiring your team with a powerful vision of where you're all going together. It works everywhere, from the classroom to trying to get people to visit a new city. So, the really big idea here is this. If you think of storytelling as just a little tactic for your marketing department, you are missing out. Big time. It's a holistic business strategy. It can build a stronger culture, a more unified team, and a more inspired company, period. So where does this ancient art go from here? I mean, technology and our own habits are changing so fast, and that's already reshaping what the future of storytelling is even going to look like. And things are evolving incredibly quickly. Think about it. AI is going to allow for stories that are personalized for every single user on a massive scale. With VR and AR, we're not just going to hear a story, we're going to live inside it. And narratives will spread across all kinds of different platforms, a little piece here, a little piece there. Of course, all this new power brings a whole new set of ethical questions and challenges we're going to have to figure out.
Look, at the end of the day, you don't have to have some dramatic, started in a garage story to have a powerful story. It can be found in your passion for solving a customer's problem. It can be in your team's commitment to quality, or the impact you're having on your local community. So really, the question isn't whether you have a story to tell. Every single company does. The real question is, are you telling it?